First of all guys, I just want to thank you all for all the support and comments that I got yesterday. I was having a massive headache and I couldn't post any what ifs. And I just want to thank you all for the encouraging comments and everything that you said yesterday guys. Just know, I am grateful to all of you. And yeah, I'm back guys. I already posted a new episode of What If Naruto unlock a strange ability over on Anime King 2. So go over there and check out that and enjoy guys. And I'm going to be posting a new episode of What If Naruto was trained by all the greats at a young age, part 3 guys, for you guys to enjoy. And remember, if you're new and this is the first time you hear my voice and you enjoy the videos on both Anime King and Anime King 2, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become a part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and your support. Remember to comment down below and tell me if you're new. I'll be planning talking back to all of you guys. So yeah, without further ado, what is to begin this new episode? Begin the intro. So, the last time we left off, things were going well in school as things was picking up. No matter how hard Sasuke tried, he was never able to best Naruto at all. As Naruto ended up battling with Kiba, it only took a second for Naruto to deal with Kiba, as he was stronger than all of the children in his academy year. A teacher then came and spoke to Mizuki, as Mizuki told Naruto that he's wanted. As Naruto went along with the man, as he noticed that something strange was going on, he activated the comm set that was connected to his mother, as the man tried to force Naruto into the room, but Naruto denied that. And then 4 civilians came out as they tried to kill Naruto, but Naruto wasted no time as he cut all of them down with his blade. As Kushina arrived, as she hugged her son, making sure he was okay, as she saw him looking at dead bodies, as she told him that he did what he had to do, Kushina was furious, but the situation was, well, not in Mizuki's favor or Naruto's, so neither of them got blamed, as Sarutobi told her that he would keep an extra squad of Anfu just in case. Things went along quite well after that. The first semester grades then came out, as Sasuke was second in everything, as Fukaku was disappointed in him, as he tried to challenge Naruto once again, but Naruto put him down to the ground rather easy, and just walked away. He didn't have time to waste with Sasuke, as Hinata was happy that her father was seeing her in a better light now, as he told her good job, even though she should be at top, but she fall behind the Namikaze and the Uchiha, so he could understand, but she was happy, she was delighted to hear that. So yeah, things are going quite well for them. As Naruto also met Itachi. Itachi wanted to know why everyone hated Naruto so much, as he had no idea, as Itachi could tell that Kushina was lying about something. When Naruto got home, he asked his mother, she told him to trust her, that he's not ready for this yet. So he did as he dropped the situation. There was a field trip to go on, as Aruka told the students about it. As Naruto asked his mother, he told that he would prepare and ready for anything out there. She decided to trust him along with this, but anything happened, he must call her, as he told her yes. Meanwhile, there was a group. A man that had his son killed by Minato Namikaze found out about this at the field trip, as the man was going to send Anbu level ninjas to go and kill Naruto as he sent them off. Meanwhile, Itachi was talking to his father, as they suspected him of killing Shisui Uchiha, even though Shisui wrote a written suicide note. They suspected Itachi, as he was going to be arrested tomorrow, as Fukaku was able to hold it off from today. As Fukaku had a plan for Itachi to do something for him, and then in a couple of years he would return back to the village, but for right now he will become missing then. The thing that he wanted him to do was kill Naruto, as Itachi told him to tell him why they hate Naruto so much. So he told him about the beast that was sealed inside Naruto, and from what he saw that night, the boy must be, well, taken care of. As Itachi said perhaps he will do this mission, but Fukaku told him if he didn't do this mission, and if he get taken away, he will completely disregard him and not care about him anymore. As Itachi didn't say anything after that, the field trip day then came as they headed out, as Naruto created a fire and everything, as he also went to meet up with Hinata, as she told him that he couldn't be out here with her because Haruka and Mizuki would find out. But Naruto said that they're on their way out here because this is a survival test. They should be nearby, but they're not exactly right here, as they spent time together before Naruto headed back. As he came back and he was watching the sunset go down, as he quickly turned after feeling something, as he turned to see Itachi standing there. So yeah guys, so it's basically that's where we left off. You guys can search across the place and check it out for yourself. So what is we begin this new episode? Itachi was standing on a tree limb about 20 feet away. He was wearing his Anbu uniform but no mask. He didn't have a weapon out, he was just looking down at Naruto. As Naruto had his hand on his blade but he did not draw it. So tell me, why is the Anbu captain here in the middle of an academy exercise? I'm here because of you, Naruto-kun. Yeah, I kind of guessed that. So, are you gonna attack me or what, Naruto asked. Itachi's eye flickered to a spot behind Naruto. Move, he said. The moment he said that, he was gone. Naruto yanked out his sword as he turned to the right, ready for attack from any direction. As he did so, he sensed movement and chakra coming from behind him. As he glanced, see a ninja burst out of the forest that he did not recognize. Itachi appeared right behind the man and drive a kunai into the base of the man's skull. As Itachi just looked down the man's dead body. Bro, he took that ninja out like he was nothing. What's going on here? Whose side are you on, Naruto asked. Itachi looked at him. There's one more. As he disappeared once again. Almost immediately, another ninja burst out of the forest. Like the first one, Naruto did not recognize him, as he was not wearing a headband. As the ninja screamed out, "You bastard!" As he started to toss shurikens, as Naruto was forced to move to avoid him. As he jumped behind a large tree to gain some cover. Whoever this guy is, he's good. As Naruto placed his hands up, Shadow Clone Jutsu. As 20 Naruto appeared in a large poof of smoke. As 20 clones appear and rush around the man. But the man went through hand sign, rock garden technique. Rocks started to shoot up from the ground all around him. As the clones were struck and they poofed out of existence. As the original Naruto was also struck as he was thrown to the ground. The man went through hand sign, Doma barrier technique. Before Naruto could even get back to his feet, the earth around him leapt up as it trapped him. You're finished now, said Yusuke. I can drain your chakra while you're trapped in there. Once I suck your chakra dry, I can finish you off. Don't bother trying to break out of it. It is without warning. Half of the earth-made dome exploded. Naruto stood there as his left hand was glowing with chakra. As Naruto smiled, looked at his hand. Thank you so much, Godmother. So much better than medical ninjutsus. I don't know who you are and I don't really care. But it's my turn now, he said. The man went through hand sign, living, colossal technique. As Naruto launched his attack just as the man's technique, his body turned to stone take effect. As Naruto drive his sword forward, but his sword clashed against the man's chest and broke. Whatever technique he used, it hardened his skin to the point of stone. And his sword was not a real katana after all, but still very deadly. But now it was broken, as Naruto quickly improvised and swung his hand around, infused with chakra. But Yusuke shot forward and grabbed Naruto's wrist before Naruto could punch him. Huh, you really are the Yellow Flash son, aren't you? Yes I am, said Naruto proudly. Yusuke nodded, before he clenched Naruto's hand tight. Naruto screamed out in pain as the man started to crush his arm. If you live, you would be as powerful as he was. It's a good thing we were sent here. He yanked Naruto up in the air by his now useless left hand, as he held Naruto like a fish, caught in a hook. Just so you know, you little bastard, all the power in the world is useless if you can't reach your target. Now, no more juices for you. And I get a little payback for what you did to my partner. With that said, he swung and threw Naruto into a tree. As Naruto hit the tree with a force as he could hear his ribs snap. As he cried out in pain as he dropped to the ground. As Yusuke walked up to him and smashed his foot into his gut. As that sent Naruto sailing 10 feet as he crashed on the ground. Meanwhile, Itachi frowned as he watched Naruto being beaten to death. It seems I overestimate you, Naruto-kun. It seems you aren't as strong as I thought. Meanwhile, Kushina heard her son scream and it was like a kunai slicing into her heart. She damned herself for letting this happen. She damned herself for not being able to do anything as she was moving as fast as possible. But it was creeping into her heart as she could hear his screams. She wouldn't make it on time. That sick bastard Itachi was just playing with him and he wouldn't last long. And she wouldn't make it in time. If he died, if she lost him because she let him go on his stupid exam, she would find and she would kill Itachi. And she couldn't. She couldn't live without her son. She wouldn't live without him. There was no hope after that. She just couldn't lose him, because if she did, there was no point of her living. Meanwhile, Yusuke held Naruto up by arm's length as he looked at Naruto. Naruto's nose was smashed, his face covered by blood. His left arm was broken. Every breath was an agony for Naruto, yet he still looked up at his enemy and spoke. Who are you? An enemy of your father, that is all you need to know. You haven't suffered enough for what you did. To my friend back there. But even if I do this for a year, it still wouldn't be enough for what your father did in the past. Now before I end your life, as he grabbed Naruto's throat, I would like to hear the son of Yellow Flash beg me for mercy. Begged, said Naruto. That's right. Beg me to spare you. Beg like the dog that you are. As he started to squeeze, you better start begging before it's too late. As Naruto felt like he was about to die, he felt regret, shame and fear. But what he felt the most was rage. Unbridled, unending rage. That his life was ending now. Like this. Anger that he was being denied the chance to achieve his destiny. Anger that he knew what this would do to his mother and Hinata. No, I won't die, he said. I won't die, as his eyes snapped open. Yuzuki watches the boy's eyes change from blue to red. Despite the situation, Yuzuki hesitated. What are you? As he tried to squeeze Naruto's throat, but the red chakra exploded out of Naruto, shooting him back. I am the future Hokage, and until I become Hokage, I'll never die. As Naruto reached out to grab the man and the red chakra bent to his will, a gigantic hand emerged and grabbed the man and lifted him up in the air. Die, Naruto said as he squeezed his hand. The gigantic hand crushed Yuzuki as chunks of flesh and blood was falling. Seeing that his opponent was dead, the anger inside of him started to dissipate. As he collapsed to his knees, the red chakra leaving him. Mom, he said, as he collapsed down. Naruto watches Itachi approach him. He couldn't move. He wondered if he was going to die today. You gonna finish the job? He asked. No. You are truly extraordinary. To deny you the power to develop and achieve your full power would be a shame. I want to see just how powerful you can become. Glad to hear it, said Naruto. Itachi had his spin around as he grabbed onto Kushina's wrist. Her blade was an inch away from cutting his throat. Please do not attack me, Kushina. I did not harm your son. Naruto was surprised as someone blocked his mother's attack with his bare hand. Mom, it's true, said Naruto. He didn't attack me. He killed one of the ninjas who did. Kushina stared at Itachi, as she was amazed as well that he stopped her. She still did not trust him, but she believed her son. Alright, I won't attack you, she said. As he released her hand as she moved back. Thank you, said Itachi. If Naruto said that you helped him, then I believe you. But I'm still curious, what were you doing here in the first place? The explanation is simple. I was ordered by my father to assassinate your son. As killing intent started to rise from Kushina. What? She said. I chose to disobey the order though, and I came here to deliver a warning to Naruto-kun. My warning is simple. Never trust any member of the Uchiha clan, and that includes my brother. You should also be aware if I had killed Naruto-kun, my father would have arranged your death as well. What? Said Naruto, as he was far more upset at his mother's death than his own. Fukaku's a dead man, she said. Will you come with me to the tower to tell the Hokage this? I'm sorry, but I can't. While I chose to protect your son, I've already committed murder. I will be leaving Konoha to become a Missing. I trust that you will not try to stop me, he asked. She shook her head. After what you have done today, no. Itachi looked back down. You have great power within you, Naruto-kun. Work hard to reach your full potential because I intend to do the same. One day, I intend to test myself against you and see which one of us is stronger. Until that day, Naruto-kun, goodbye. And with that, his body vanished out of sight. With Itachi gone, Kushina quickly knelt beside her bloody son. As she quickly performed the medical ninjutsu. My baby, she said. Everything's gonna be alright. Mommy's here, I'll take care of you. It hurts, said Naruto. She knew how proud he was and strong. It's alright, my dear, she said. As she reached into her pouch, as she pulled out a container with some strange white liquid inside. The morphine would take the pain away, she said, as she put a senbon needle in it, a smaller one for medical use. Thank you, Mom, that helps. His voice was already sounding sleepy. I'm sorry I wasn't strong enough to... It's okay, she said. Don't worry about that, that's not important. You survived, and that's all that matters. It wasn't me, Mom. It was the red chakra. And with that, he fell asleep. She wasn't worried about what he said. There would be time for him to tell her everything later, as she cradled him up and headed off. Time skip. Hinata. Aruka's voice called out. Yes, Aruka-sensei, said Hinata. Please gather all your things. I'm Mizuki. and other instructors are gathered to other classmates. The exam is over. But why Aruka-sensei? The man looked at her with deep unhappiness. I'm afraid that one of our students were attacked. We had a perimeter set around the forest, but looked like a pair of our ninjas were able to penetrate it. A terrible thought ran into her stomach. It wasn't Naruto, was it? She asked. I'm afraid it was. Time skip. Hello, father. As Itachi stepped out of the darkness. Itachi, what happened? Said Fukaku. I heard reports that Naruto was attacked but he survived. He's under Anbu protection. How did you fail? I did not fail. Naruto was attacked by a pair of foreign ninjas. I did not attack him. You watched as a pair of foreign ninjas attacked him and you did nothing. Actually, father, I killed one of the two ninjas. Fukaku looked angry. You helped him? That is correct. Why? Why would you do such a thing? Because Naruto has a power inside of him that I want to see grow and develop. I want him to become a truly powerful ninja so that one day I can test myself against him and see how I truly develop myself. Itachi was right behind Fukaku, as Fukaku hadn't turned to meet his son's eyes. As he felt something, he tried to move but it was already too late as a sword ran through his chest. You are too focused on killing Naruto. I can't tell you to live, father. Blood escaped his father's lips. It didn't take too long as Itachi pushed him off his blade. Fukaku collapsed to the ground dead. Mikoto then came in, as she started to scream, as Itachi appeared behind her and knocked her out. She fell to the floor unconscious, as he then calmly walked out of his home. As he walked into the Uchiha compound, a few people recognized him. As he returned their greetings, he was thinking about killing them all for a service to the village. In his opinion, the entire clan has turned into a disease that will only sicken Konoha. He had thought about performing a service before leaving this place, but he had reconsidered. If so many of the villagers and shinobi's want to harm Naruto, then the entire village was diseased, and perhaps terminally so. Besides, with the Uchiha clan intact, Naruto will always have a powerful enemy right outside his door. That will give him excellent motivation. As he smiled and vanished. Time skip. Sasuke. Itachi, did you hear? Naruto got attacked by a couple of ninjas and he's in the hospital right now. Do you hope that he survived? Asked Itachi. Sasuke looked rather shocked by the question. Of course I do. Even if I don't like him. I don't want to see him die or anything. Sasuke, come with me. There are things I must tell you. As both of them were in a dark alley not too far from the Uchiha compound. I am leaving the village tonight, brother. After tonight I will become a missing nin and disgrace of the Uchiha clan. What? Why would you do that? Because 3 days ago I murdered Shisui, and less than an hour ago I murdered father. Sasuke was about to start screaming or shouting. He planted a hand over his brother's mouth. I have no intention of harming you, little brother. However, if you scream, I will. Do you understand? Sasuke slowly nodded, as Itachi released the hand. Why? Why did you kill father? To protect Naruto. What? Said Sasuke. Father ordered me to assassinate him. I refused father's order, and I helped him survive the attack tonight. Not that he needed much help, he's already powerful, and he would just continue to grow so. Father was a fool and he would still try to kill him. To safeguard Naruto's future, it was necessary to end your father's life. So, you killed father to help Naruto, Sasuke whispered. Indeed, but that is not all. Let me show you something. He shut his eyes and Sasuke saw him open back his eyes. His eyes were different, as Sasuke was drawn into the Mangita Sharingan world. What is this? Sasuke said, confused. Just watch, brother, said Itachi. As Sasuke saw a familiar figure walk into the Uchiha compound. Why would Naruto come here? And as Sasuke watched Naruto change, it was like watching a snake shed his skin. He started to grow and change shape, as he turned into a giant nine-tailed fox. What is this? He watched as his friends and family started to flee, as the fox started to level the Uchiha compound. Brother, stop this! Watch closely. Mother, Sasuke yelled, as his mother was snatched up in the fox's jaws and devoured. He stood there and watched as everyone was slaughtered by the beasts, and his home was flattened to the ground. He was on his knees crying and begging for it to stop. Itachi could have forced his brother to relive this for 72 hours, but that was not his goal. It was to provide his brother with motivation, not shatter his mind. He ended the effect and they were yet again in the alleyway. Sasuke crumbled to the ground weeping. For him, it seemed real. Naruto has the Kyubi inside him. That is why he's hated by so many. That is also why he's so powerful. That is the power I want to help him grow. You want that? Sasuke said in horror. As he remembered Naruto's red eyes that day, Yes, I want Naruto to achieve much power as he can, and if reaching his potential, he shall lay waste this entire village, and everyone within it. That would be a small loss. Have no doubt, Sasuke, that what you saw will come to pass one day. If you really believe that, then why? Why would you help him, and why would you kill father just to help him? I need a powerful opponent to test my abilities against. Naruto is the only one in the village that can do that. One day. And do you know why, Sasuke? As Sasuke just looked at his brother confused. Because he knows how to hate. I saw him kill his opponent. And that anger I felt, the hatred, it's one to behold. To gain real power, you must have a deep and powerful hatred to drive you. Good. Because I hate you. And I hate Naruto, said Sasuke as Itachi smiled. He saw a bit of hate in his brother's eyes. As he nodded, remember, you must kill Naruto first. If you're not strong enough to defeat him, you will never be able to defeat me. And in order to gain that strength, you will need the same power I possess. You too can gain the power of the Mangekyo Sharingan, but there is a cost. You must kill your closest friend, it's a grief. For a loss like that would allow your eyes to change into the final stage. But of course, before that day comes, you must activate your Sharingan. Now little brother, remember, you must learn to hate and get power at all costs. That is the only way that you might be able to defeat me or Naruto. As he knocked Sasuke in the back of the neck, knocking him out. Perfect. Naruto will never trust the Uchihas. Sasuke will hate him and try to destroy him. They will be enemies, and there is no possibility of either of them trusting each other. Their hatred and rivalry will help each other gain new heights. Whichever one comes first will be my opponent. Whichever one kill each other first, though. To test my abilities, I will put my money on Naruto, but I have given you your chance, Sasuke, your motivation and goal. After all, what are big brothers for, he said. And with that, Itachi was gone. Time skip. Naruto slowly opened his eyes as he was lying in a field. A grass field with very smelly flowers. He didn't feel any pain. As he got to his feet and looked around, a little ways in front of him was an old, ruined fortress. It was made of black stone, and he seemed to have fallen on himself. He decided to explore it as he was curious. But as he made his way, it was blocked by a huge iron gate, one like the one in front of his home. As in the middle of the gate, he saw a single seal. He tried to look inside, but inside was dark, very dark. Hello? Is anyone in there? He asked. He then heard it. A laughter that scared him as he stepped back, as two eyes then snapped open. He was terrified, but he couldn't move. He wondered, was this how a rabbit felt when a wolf's eyes locked on him? Then the teeth, two rows of long sharp teeth, grinned down at him. Finally you have come. Kneel in front of me and show me proper respect. Who are you? Said Naruto. Laughter, thick with malice, made his stomach turn. I am the great and powerful Kyubi. Time skip. As Sasuke entered the class, as he sit down, not really thinking or saying anything for a while until, oh Sasuke, can I sit next to you? Sakura asked. He said, as she took this as a yes as she sit down. Isn't it terrible? What happened inside today? I mean, I can hardly believe. I hear one of the ninjas who attacked Naruto was torn apart. Can you believe that? Sasuke shut his eyes. Yes, without a doubt, he said to himself, as Sakura noticed that his eyes were closed. As she tried to cheer him up, you know Sasuke, it really speaks well of your generous soul, to know that you're so upset about Naruto. As he turned towards her, I mean, I had no idea that you care so much about him, that him being in the hospital depressed you. You really are very thoughtful and kind. He turned his head, typical earhead, and depressed because my father was killed by my psychotic brother, and one of my classmates a monster. In all fairness, there was a reason why Sakura did not know. The Uchiha clan had moved swiftly to cover up what happened. After what Itachi did and his betrayal, it had made to not be public, lest the clan reputation would suffer. And since the Uchiha clan had a huge influence on the police force, it was not hard to do. Sasuke found it difficult, but he agreed to not speak to anyone outside of clan about it. Did you send him any flowers? Sakura asked, a cheerful voice. I sent him a few, just to be nice because he's in the hospital, she said. No, I didn't send him any flowers, he said, his tone icy cold. Sakura nodded as she looked down. She did not understand what did she say to get that kind of reaction out of him. As Sasuke looked around, Shikamaru, Choji, and Kiba, they were sitting in the back row as they were talking. Shikamaru was complaining that even though it would be troublesome, he would go with the other two to visit Naruto after class. Across, Ino was bragging to the other girls about how many flowers she had sent Naruto. As he looked around, he was not surprised to see that Hinata was missing. He was sure that she was at the hospital, probably curled up at Naruto's feet, as he felt contempt for all of them. They were all gullible fools who all fall for an act. None of them had any idea that the boy they were worried about would probably turn and eat all of them one day. When his mother had recovered from her shock to what Itachi did, and she confirmed it to Sasuke, it was the truth. Naruto, he was a Kyuubi. Then his mother told him about the third Hokage law. He couldn't even tell his classmates the sort of danger they were in, without putting his neck, literally, on the line. He sighed. In just one day his life has changed completely. On Saturday morning, life had been good, if not perfect. By Saturday night, his mother shattered, his father murdered, his brother that he idolized, a cold-hearted killer, and Naruto was a monster that would destroy them all one day. And one more thing happened in his childhood, it had ended. Because now he was an adult with a terrible responsibility. He would have to be the savior of his clan and his village, and as well as his father avenger. He would have to be the one to save Konoha from the Kyuubi and kill his older brother to avenge his father. That was a lot to place on an 8-year-old's shoulders. But he was his father's son, Uchiha. He would bear up to it and face his responsibilities. His very first thought was to alert the clan of a danger, for all of them to act towards it. But his mother was horrified at the suggestion. She told him that all the adults knew about the Kyuubi, it was just a secret to the younger generation. And if the clan did as he suggested, it would be an open war against the Namikaze and the Hyugas. Many of the adults might hate Naruto, but few was going to, well, risk a civil war to try and kill him. Hearing that, the very next thought that occurred to him was to kill Naruto the next time he saw him. He pictured himself slaying the monster and being known as the savior of the village and the clan. But the more he thought about that, the more he realized, after that beating in the courtyard, he was no match for Naruto at all. Though, he would never tell anyone else that. He tried to look at it as a, well, adult instead of a children. Iruka, Mizuki, Kushina, the Hyuga, the third, and the Anfu. The list of people Naruto had to defend him was very long. And also his mother, with her reputation for dealing with people who threatened her son. For the life of him, he didn't understand why. Why people tried to protect the Kyuubi, but they did. But Sasuke realized that he can't do anything while Naruto is in Konoha. He's just too well protected here. It will have to be somewhere outside of Konoha. So he has to do it when they become a shinobi. He sighed. It frightened him to work and live beside the Kyuubi for so long. Everything I do towards the next few years have to aim towards that day. I have to gain power and activate my Sharingan. I should try to get some allies on my side as well. That should make it easier. When he thought about allies, he had a disturbing realization. Nearly everyone he knew, they were on Naruto's side. That had never worried him before, but he had his clan after all. But he also needed people now that watch his back and do as he told them. Defeating Naruto and saving the village was going to be hard. He was going to need help. As he turned his head and looked towards the girl that was sitting next to him, as she was still looking down at the decks, he let out a small sigh. He was not eager to do this, but if it would help him save the village one day, he would make any sacrifice. Sakura-chan, he said. Sakura head snapped up immediately. Did Sasuke just call her Chan? Yes, Sasuke-kun, she said. I am very sorry if I was rude to you. I guess what happened Saturday has me feeling kind of bad. Sakura wondered if she was going crazy or something. Oh my god. He's being nice to me. It's alright, Sasuke-kun, she said. I understand, her cheeks blushing red. Say, Sakura-chan, would you like to have lunch with me today? I would love to, she said. It's for the village and greater good, he thought to himself. Meanwhile, Naruto heard familiar voices as he slowly started to come awake. Shh, I think he started to wake up. Naruto-kun, are you awake? Yeah, Mom, he said, as he slowly opened his eyes. He didn't feel any pain anymore. Oh honey, I'm so glad, she said. She kissed his cheeks. You've been asleep for 2 days. I've been so worried about you. Well, I haven't. I knew that you were just too stubborn to be anything but alright, the voice. Is that you, Kakashi? Said Naruto. Yo, just been keeping your mom company. Naruto-kun, said Hinata, as she leaned all the way over to the edge of his bed and fell right on top of him. She was desperate to put her arms on him, hug him. She didn't really care right now. Oh Naruto-kun, I'm so glad you're alright, she said. She pressed her face against his cheek. I was so worried about you. She was hugging him with all her might and his body was still sore. Ow. She immediately let go. I'm sorry, Naruto-kun, she said. I didn't mean to hurt you. It's okay, Hinata-chan, he said. It's okay. Just be a little gently, he said, as he held onto her hand and tugged her back towards him. As she smiled, as she hugged him, as he wrapped one arm around her and hugged her back. Is this alright, Naruto-kun, she said. It felt a bit weird to lie on top of him like this, but after 2 days of him just being unconscious, she wanted to hold him, yeah. That feels fine, said Naruto. As Kushina and Kakashi were looking at them, they were just too cute. How are you doing, son? Asked Kushina. I feel sore, but I'm not in pain. My left arm, though, would feel rather heavy. As he wondered why his arm couldn't move, he thought that he was still tired. But now that you look at it, it was in a cast. Mom, if I've been here 2 days, why am I still a mess? I normally heal fast. I know, son, but those wounds that you always get, they were cuts or tears. And this time your body took so many damage at one time. It took longer to heal. You even had to go into surgery because of that arm. Most of your bones have been healed. It will just take a while to finish setting. But your left arm suffered a lot of damage. How bad is it? The medic said you might not regain full use of it again. Naruto's eyes went wide as he started to panic. But calm down. I have sent for your godmother, she said. I don't know when she will get here, but when she does, we will see what she says. Naruto slowly nodded. He knew that his godmother was the world's greatest medic. As he shut his eyes and put his arm back down, I don't suppose it really mattered anymore. As he sounded rather defeated, everyone looked at him in surprise. Honey, don't be depressed. I'm sure once Tsunade is here, she'll be able to heal you. Yes, Naruto-kun, said Hinata. I'm sure everything will be fine now. Hinata, would you mind waiting in the hall while I talk to my mom alone, said Naruto. As he looked at Kakashi, would you mind as well, he asked. Oh, of course, Naruto-kun, she said. She was a bit disappointed because she started to get comfortable, as she quickly slipped back off the hospital bed. Alright, Naruto, come on, Hinata, let's get something to eat. Kushina looked at her son a bit curious. She never seen him look at this before. Honey, I know how the person can be, stuck in the hospital, but it's okay. We'll have you home soon, and once I get here, I'm sure that you'll be just fine. No, Mom. I don't think I'm gonna be fine again, said Naruto. I'm not really worried about my hand, I'm sure Godmother will fix it. Even if she doesn't, I'll manage one way or another. Well, son, if you feel that way, why are you so depressed? Because I know, said Naruto. Know what? I know why everyone hates me. I know what's inside of me. Oh God. Did Itachi told you? No. The Kyuubi did. What? What do you mean the Kyuubi did, she said. As terrifying thoughts of what that might mean flashed through her mind. I had a nightmare. In it, the Kyuubi spoke to me. He told me what happened the night I was born. He told me it was his power that made me heal so fast, that gave me a lot of chakra capacity. And it was his red chakra that I used out there. When I fought that ninja, it was the Kyuubi's power that saved me. I see. I never thought I'd say this, but I'm glad for the Kyuubi's power. When are you going to tell me, Naruto asked. I don't know. I was planning to tell you sometime before you became a genin. To be honest, it wasn't a conversation I was eager to have. Why? Why did Dad do this to me, he asked. She took a deep breath. All at once she remembered that night. All over again. Everything. To the point where she blacked out that night. It was the only way, son. A Beijo cannot be killed by a mortal, and the Kyuubi's power was too great to stop. The only way to save the village was to adopt the Kyuubi into a vessel that could hold all of his chakra. And the only vessel that can do that was a newborn child with an undeveloped chakra system. Stopping the Kyuubi needed two things, a newborn to act as vessel, and a human sacrifice to work the jutsu. He felt, as a Hokage, it was his duty to sacrifice his life to save the village. And as his son and heir, he felt like it was your duty to be the vessel. He didn't feel like he could justify asking their parents to make another sacrifice that he wasn't able to. She looked at her son, she waited for his reaction, if he was angry. He didn't show it at all. As Naruto looked down, I understand, he said. You do? As he looked back up, Mom, I said it before, I would give anything to protect Konoha. I guess in a way I already have. I understand it. The Hokage duty is to protect Konoha no matter the cost. I can't blame my father for fulfilling his duty, and being his son I can understand why he chose me to bear this burden. As he chuckled, but no humor was in it, even if everyone hated me for it. Son, everyone does not hate you. Kakashi, the Hokage, Tsunade, Jiraiya, Hayashi, and all those people on the street who bow and cheer for you. They see you as a hero, as your father wished. I know that, but there's a lot of people who hate me. I guess it's time for me to find another goal. What do you mean? She asked. Well, now that I know I cannot become Hokage, I need to find another goal for myself, he said. Son, what makes you think you can't become Hokage? She asked. How can I be Hokage when I'm a monster? He said. Ow! Said Naruto. Mom, you hit me. Don't ever say that again, she said to him. That's the sort of things those fools who hate you said. Have you forgotten your promise so soon? Do you remember your first day at the academy, son? What did I ask you to promise me? To never forget who I am. And who are you? She said. I am Naruto Namikaze, your son, and the son of Namikaze Minato. Yes, you are, she said, as she hugged him. You are my son and you're Minato's son and you're a good brave boy. Never ever think that you're anything else. Tell me, how did you feel when you killed those men at the academy? I felt bad, guilty. And do you think that you will feel anything like that if you were the Kyuubi? But it was different last time, said Naruto. When I used the red chakra, I was happy that I killed. Were you also angry? Yes, very very angry. And were you scared? He nodded. It is perfectly normal and perfectly happy to be happy. To kill someone who was trying to kill you. That does not make you anywhere near a demon. But the seal on my belly, my healing. The red chakra, he said. They are all a part of you. But not all of you. The Kyuubi is inside of you, that's true. But you are not the Kyuubi and you never will. No matter how many fools refuse to believe that. You have its power. But you, Naruto, you will choose how to use it. You said that the red chakra saved your life. I would definitely call it a good use of a demon's power. Naruto-kun, we all possess the power for evil or good. We all choose the life path that we take. You are a human, you have that same choice. What is special about you, my son, is the capacity that you possess. You have great power within you, and that power can be used for either good or evil. The choice is yours. Use the Kyuubi power, son. That power belongs to you, as much as the strength of your muscle does. Take the power within you and use it. And use it to fulfill your dream, to become Hokage and protect everyone you love. A smile came on Naruto's face. Thank you, Mom, he said, his voice sounded a bit relief and cheerful. Time skip. I really hate this thing, said Naruto, as his arm was itching him. Don't be so troublesome. You should be glad you survived at all. No one else in our class have a chance. Yeah, that's right. You're real lucky, Choji said. But he was still pissed as he glared at the cast that was on his arm and his leg. I suppose that I am, but I sure don't feel lucky right now. Hinata was standing behind him as she leaned against his back. Since the hospital when he told her he liked her hugs, she was more closer to him than before. Naruto-kun, I know why you're unhappy. I know that you want to be getting back to training, but just be a little patient, the cast come off tomorrow. He turned his head a bit. You know me too much, Hinata-chan, he said. But even after I get these damn things off, I still won't be able to do a full workout. My mom said I have to rehabilitate slowly. She said I won't be back to my regular pace for at least a month. I have already missed so much time not just training, but in class too. Shikamaru sighed and rolled his eyes. You're so troublesome. You only missed 1 week of class time and I'm sure that we don't cover anything important. Well, I don't think we did. I was asleep through most of it. Well, he hasn't really missed anything. I brought him my notes, said Hinata. So, you've been studying this whole time when you've given time off to do nothing. You know, you're a really troublesome person. It seems like you don't know how to slack off, said Shikamaru, as he leaned his head back on the wall. No thanks, said Naruto. You do enough for both of us. As his friends had came over, as him and Shikamaru was playing shogi, as Kiba and Akamaru were at the front of the mansion playing in the garden, as his mom was inside. I guess I'm not too worried about class, I just feel like I'm wasting time doing nothing. You aren't wasting time, you're recovering from being attacked by 2 Jonins. Don't mistake for not being able to do what you want as wasting time. I agree, said Hinata. Please take it easy as you recover from your injuries, Naruto-kun. I know how eager you are, but please take things slow and not push too hard. You'll be back to normal soon. Do not hurt yourself trying to get there too soon. I know, he said. All of a sudden, Kiba came running around the corner. She's coming, he shouted out. Oh no, said Choji. As Shikamaru closed up his shogi set and got up off the bench. Well, I'll see you tomorrow, Naruto, he said. Hey, Naruto said. Are you guys just gonna abandon me to face her alone? Hell yeah, said Kiba as he ran off. Yes, Choji said. Sorry, Naruto, but like my dad said, a smart man knows when to cut and run. We'll be back tomorrow, said Shikamaru as he headed off. Great, some ninja they will make. Just abandon a comrade to their fate like that. Hinata sit down right beside him. Don't worry, Naruto-kun. I won't abandon you no matter what. Thanks, I knew I could count on you, said Naruto. As she came around the corner with a large bouquet of flowers. When he had woken up, his room was filled with flowers, and most of them were from Ino. He had thanked her because she and the other girls in class came there, and told her that he appreciated her, well, thoughtfulness. So she came every single day while he was in the hospital, delivering a large bouquet of flowers for him, personally. He couldn't quite tell her that he just wanted to leave him alone, because she was getting annoying. So it was his mom who came and rescued him from, well, her annoying him. Ino saw him as her eyes lit up. Hello, Naruto-kun, she said. How are you doing? Fine, Ino. Thank you again for the flowers. But you know you don't really need to get me them every time. The cast come off tomorrow. Oh, that's wonderful, Naruto-kun. I'm glad to hear that. As she set the flowers down on the bench, across from the one that he and Hinata were occupying. She then removed his crutches as she sat right down beside him. on the other side. Only then she acted like she noticed Hinata. Oh, hello Hinata. I didn't see you there. You know Hinata, I'm sure that you'll be great when it comes to intelligent gathering. I mean, you have a natural gift for being invisible. You have no presence at all. How do you do that, she said. Oh, I just think that you have trouble seeing me, Ino. Because Naruto-kun has always seen me, she said. Oh yes, I know that, said Ino. He sees you as his friend. Maybe so, but at least I don't have to invent excuses to come and see him outside of class. I'm welcome here anytime I want to come. As Naruto knew that it was going to be like this at his side. Hinata was the sweetest person on earth, but whenever Ino was around, well, she's surprisingly a bit ticked off and angry. It was weird because listening to both of them fight, it was like two girls fighting for a boy they want to date. He knew that Ino was like that, but not Hinata. They were just friends, right? After about 2 hours, his mother came, telling Ino that Naruto needed to get some rest. Mom, why do you wait so long to come and rescue me, Naruto asked. Because if you don't suffer, you won't learn anything. I told you not to give any of your fangirls any special attention. That only encouraged them. But I didn't do it on purpose, I was just thanking her. I was trying to be nice. Yes, and this is the result. Hey, I got some good news for you. Your godmother is arriving sometime today. Time skip. Naruto! That was all the warning he got before he was swept off the ground, and his face was planted in Tsunade's bosom. Had he been several years older, he might have enjoyed the experience. But as he was now, he was fighting for dear life, as his godmother was trying to kill him. Oh Naruto-kun, as soon as I got your mother's message, I got back here as fast as I possibly could. She pulled his face up and started giving him kisses. Naruto-kun, I'm so glad you're alright. Lady Tsunade and I were so worried at the thought of losing you, said Shizune, as she started giving him some kisses of her own. Thanks, godmother. Thanks, Aunt Shizune. But I'm fine. Well, except for my hand. Alright, Naruto. I'm going to do a full checkup on you, not just your hand, said Tsunade. About a half an hour later. How bad is it? Asked Kushina. Well, it's not good. Every bone in his hand was fractured, and there was a lot of tendon damage as well. As Tsunade looked murderous. If the bastard who did this to him was still alive, I'll break every bone in his body and see how he enjoyed it. Can you fix it? Asked Kushina. Yes, but it's going to take at least 10 separate operations, and each of them needs to give it time for tissue to heal. It will probably take about 2 months to completely restore his hand. But once you're done, you'll have full use of it again. Yes, including making hand signs. But I'm afraid I won't be able to stay in Konoha for the entire time. I'll be back every time he's scheduled for operation. What do you mean you can't stay? If you're going to start telling me how you don't like it here, or how it brings back bad memories, I don't want to hear it. Your godson needs you right now and not the sort of surgeons. There's no one else I trust to help him with his recovery, more than you. I want you here in Konoha, you can even stay in a mansion here. It's not that. There are certain difficulties with me staying in one place for more than an amount of time. And what difficulties are those? It's complicated, said Tsunade. Then explain slowly and use small words, said Kushina. Shizune stepped in. Lady Tsunade is deep in debt, and she wished to avoid debt collectors. Shizune! Well, you are, Lady Tsunade. How much, said Kushina. Don't you dare answer that, said Tsunade as she looked at Shizune. A little over 7 million, Shizune said. As Kushina's jaw dropped. 7 million? Tsunade, what's wrong with you? How could you possibly get that deep in debt? Bad luck? Kushina sighed. Shizune, do you have a list of the creditors and the amount owed to each of them? I do, Shizune said. Kushina, I don't want your help. I refuse to take a handout from a friend. That's good because I'm not offering you one. What? Shizune said, but I thought you wanted to help Lady Tsunade with her difficulties. Oh, I do, but I'm not just going to hand over a small fortune, so she can just go out and do it again. As I was trying to explain to her earlier today, if you don't suffer for your mistakes, you won't learn anything. Then, what do you have in mind? Asked Tsunade. You said you're having difficulties because of this money you owe. Fine, I'll pay off the 7 million Ryu. But then, I'll take it out of your salary. Salary? What are you talking about? Well, I'm hiring you as the Namikaze clan private physician for the next 4 years. Until Naruto graduates, I expect you to be here and on call for any emergency. And while you're here, you can teach me and my son some medical ninjutsu and do some babysitting. What? You expect me to live here and babysit for you? For the amount of money I'm giving you, you should be glad I don't expect you to be in the kitchen and cook for us all day. 7 million is not pocket change. If you owe that much, you really are in serious trouble. Is there anyone else who would give it to you? A thought then popped in Kushina's mind. Or, would you just sell the Shodei's necklace, she asked. Never, said Tsunade as she clutched a necklace. Then how exactly are you gonna pay for your debt? Tsunade opened her mouth, but then closed it. Lady Tsunade, it's not so bad, you know? You can spend more time with Naruto-kun. We can see him more often. And we can also stop running about. And aren't you always complain you never get to see Naruto enough? If you think about it, Kushina offers a wonderful opportunity. You know how I feel about this damn village. Kushina-sai, I know you lost people that you love, and the village reminds you of that. For me, this house and the rose garden are filled with overflowing memories of Minato. But it's also the home I shared with my son. Seeing him every day means more to me than any memory could. I know he would like to see you more, and so would I. So doesn't that balance out the other memories of your loved ones you lost? Tsunade looked at Kushina. Normally, she would argue that the other person didn't understand her feelings. But Kushina had lost her entire family and the man that she loved. She lost more than I did, and she never ran away. Maybe it's time to try and face things. Tsunade let out a slow sigh. Alright, I guess your offer is a fair one, considering what it's going to cost you. And I would like to see more of you and Naruto. I guess. I'll be your family doctor for a while then. Time skip. Try to make a fist for me, said Tsunade. As Naruto tried, but only his thumb and pinky responded. The 3 other fingers remained stiff, they just barely twitch. That's the most I can do. It's alright, Naruto-kun, said Tsunade. This is just the first surgery. I promise you, by the time I'm done, your hand will be as good as new. You would definitely be able to make hand signs. And even if I did, said Naruto, it wouldn't matter. Oh? Because if I couldn't use hand signs with my left hand, I would just figure out a way to make one-handed hand signs. Or I'll become a shinobi who didn't use any hand signs at all. Just fire off jutsus. After all, my dream is to become Hokage. I won't let anything stop me from reaching my dream. She looked at her godson sadly. She'd known him since the moment she pulled him in this world. But whenever he said those words, she couldn't help but feel a pain in her heart after what she's been through. Naruto, have you ever thought that being Hokage is not all fun and games? Godmother, I never thought that being Hokage is fun and games. My mother told me all about what it was like with Dad, and I talked about the Hokage position with her old man many times. I know it is very hard and demands huge sacrifices, including your life sometimes. Then why, she said. Why do you want something that won't bring you any joy and may require your life? Because I love this village and the people in it. I want to protect them and do everything in my power to keep them safe. Even the ones that hate you, she asked. Even them, said Naruto. Someday I'll win them over, and they will finally see me for who I am. But even if I can't, even someday, if people still hate me, I will still protect them. Because they're still part of this village, and it's the Hokage's duty to protect them. He's just like his father. There was a knock on the door. Lady Tsunade, the Hokage is here to see you. Ashizune, Hiruzen, and Kushina came in. How did it go? Asked Kushina. It went about as good as I expected, said Tsunade. Can I use my hand to spar with, said Naruto. No, said Kushina and Tsunade immediately. You are not allowed to use that hand for any training period for the next 2 months. No pull-ups, no push-ups, nothing. Do you understand? But at least can I— No, the both of them said once again. Alright, fine, Naruto says he slumped down. It is very good to see you again, Tsunade. I'm also pleased to hear that this time you will be staying in the village. It's not permanent, she said. I still don't care much for Konoha, but I will be here at least till my godson graduates the academy, she said. I have to work off a debt. Well, I see. In that case, is there any chance that you can teach some of our young medical ninjutsu? They would certainly benefit from your instruction. She had pushed for that a while ago, but it was denied because of the time period. Well, old man, I don't really know. First off, I have a job, so you have to ask my employer here if it will be alright. I have no objection if you want to teach on your off hours, just so long as you're available for babysitting duties. Well then, if I do agree to teach some people, I decide the curriculum I get and who I teach. I will have to have final say in all my matters and concern. Of course. Well, what do you say then? She frowned as she thought that he would put up some conditions, but he didn't. Alright, she said. Excellent. I will leave you to make arrangements with the hospital staff and inform them to give you whatever you ask for. I have work to do now, but I'm really happy that you'll be staying with us for a while. Tsunade frowned as Eden left. I have some more to do, he told them. Lady Tsunade, aren't you happy to pass on your knowledge? Yes, but that old man, I know him, and he's up to something. Time skip. Things at the academy changed while Naruto was out. Well, Sasuke got the top spot. But that was until Naruto got his hand fully fixed up and back in working order, and order was restored to the class, with Naruto being number 1 once again. And Sasuke and Sakura became an official couple. Naruto never thought that Sasuke would ever, well, speak to anyone in the kind of matter for them to really be going out with him. Because he was always so cold and distant. That was rather strange. And Sasuke was no longer looking for ways to deal with Naruto. Well, out in the front. But Naruto still didn't trust him at all. The fact that Sakura got the boy that she wanted, it infuriated Ino, as she was pursuing harder and harder to get Naruto. There were no more survival exercises held outside the walls. Tsunade started to give lessons to a small group of medical ninjas that she handpicked. Yeah, and she still had time to babysit. At the current moment, you really think you have what it takes to face me, said Tsunade. You don't scare me at all, said Naruto. Shizune sighed. If Kushina finds out about this, she won't be happy. And sure enough, hey everyone, the council meeting actually ended early for one. Kushina paused. Tsunade, what are you doing with my son, she said. Nothing, I'm just playing with him. Like a good godmother and a babysitter should. You're playing cards with him. Yes, but I am playing with him. I don't want my son to gamble. Gamble? Do you see any money? In front of her was a small pile of candy. In front of Naruto was a slightly larger pile. As Kushina continued to glare. As Tsunade gave a pouted face before she pushed all the candy first. Alright Naruto, last hand. I'm all in, she said. Okay, said Naruto as he pushed his candy into the middle as well. Tsunade smirked. Naruto, never play a hand. Just because the other person expects you to. You actually played pretty well tonight, but you lost everything on the last hand. Full house. Jack's over 9, she said. That's really good. As she started to go for the candies, but 4 sevens. What? Tsunade said. But you didn't draw any cards. I got them all from the start, said Naruto. The odds of drawing 4 of a kind were the same as winning a lottery. All 3 of them were surprised. What? He said, as he started to pick through his candy for certain pieces. Shizune giggled. Lady Tsunade, you just lost to a 9-year-old who had never played cards before. Now I understand how you run up 7 million in gambling debt, said Kushina. What amazing luck, said Tsunade. He really has a gift. Here, Mom, said Naruto. Thank you, honey, but I really don't want... Oh, are these double mint fudge, she said. They sure are, said Naruto. She took his offerings as she popped one into her mouth. Such a good boy, she said as she ruffled his hair. Alright, Naruto, collect your winnings and off to bed. As he nodded and went off to bed. You know, Kushina, there's a casino in town without a minimum gambling age. With his luck and my good night, Tsunade, said Kushina as she walked off. Time skip. The year ended with Naruto, Sasuke, and Hinata holding the top 3 spots. The summer passed peacefully enough. It was the first summer where Naruto had friends other than Hinata to play with. The security measures around him did not lessen though, as he went to Choji's birthday party, but it was much easier for his friends to come and visit him. The second year, beginning the difference, Kunai was reassigned. Hayashi decided that his daughter protection can be trusted to a cadet member of the Hyuga clan, who was a 3rd-year student. It was Neji. Naruto has known Neji as long as he has known Hinata, but they were never friends. He was never able to break through that facade of his. And he was also pissed off at Neji because the way he spoke to Hinata, it sounded like he was speaking polite but he was talking down to her. So at the moment, I must respectfully disagree with you, Naruto-san, said Neji. If you do become Hokage, it's because you were destined to. Destined? You make it sound like becoming Hokage is reserved for me. Believe me, it's not. I sweat and push myself to the limit, so I can prove myself that I will be the best Hokage. When the day comes, I will become Hokage because I earn it. I am afraid you misunderstand me, Naruto-san, said Neji, with that smug look on his face. I am not suggesting that becoming Hokage is easy or does not demand sacrifice. What I am saying is that your birth has pre-selected you to become Hokage already. Think for a moment how many ninja that are from all the villages, and how few would be ever considered for the position of Kage. Thus, who become Kage are all born for that destiny. Consider your own birth. You were born in the ear of one of Konoha's more powerful and respected clans. Even more important, you're the son of the Hokage. Clearly, your birth has pre-selected you for greatness. If you do become Hokage one day, it will not be because of your work or efforts. Tell me, if you were born the son of a mechanic or carpenter, do you ever think that you will become Hokage one day? If my will was strong enough and I would commit to it, then yes, I would, said Naruto. If you believe in your dream with your whole heart, you can get anything, said Naruto. Easy enough for you to say, said Neji. What the hell does that mean, asked Naruto as he came to a stop. It means it is easy enough to believe that anything is possible when you have been gifted with a rare birth that allows that. If you stand up and say that you will become Hokage one day, no one laughs because they know that it's possible. And why? Because of how hard you work or how strong your will is? No. It's the fact that your last name is Namikaze. You are Namikaze Naruto, son of Hokage. For you, anything is possible. But if you were Machiki Naruto, son of a plumber, and you made that same declaration, people would laugh. You know what? I'm sure they would, but even if the whole world laughed, that doesn't mean I still couldn't do it. Such unbelievable arrogance, said Neji. Only someone born at their top could truly believe that. Only someone who has never struggled can think that way. Never struggle? People have been trying to kill me my entire life, said Naruto. You should consider that as a price tag you have been given for all you have gotten since your birth. The powerful are always hated. Always. As the both of your eyes lock, should we all get going, said Kushina. Of course, Kushina-san. Sure, Mom, said Naruto. I apologize if my words hurt your ideals. Naruto simply ignored him, as he didn't bother to answer. But guys, to be in subs right here, if once the next part of this, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on the bell notifications to stay posted. Remember, share to all of your friends in social media platform. But I'm off for now. See you guys soon. Peace.